Welcome back to another episode of the Find Food Freedom podcast. This is your host, Sam Previtt, and I am very excited that you are here today. Now, if you're listening to it and not watching, you can't see that I'm wearing a puffy vest right now, in addition to like a turtleneck hoodie, I guess you could say. And it was a blustery, like 45 degrees when I woke up here in Florida today. My watch is now telling me that it's 51 degrees. But I think why I feel so cold. Okay, I'm from the Northeast, right? So I grew up with snow. I did not grow up in Florida. But I think why I feel so cold is because when it is this low of a temperature outside, like in the 50s, we don't like to turn our heat on because it's so nice, right? It's so nice that we don't have to turn our heat on. Like we rarely run our heat. But then the house gets so freaking cold because we're not running our heat. So I have a space heater in my office that I'm running like nonstop. Anyways, I don't know why I'm telling you about this because it has nothing to do with the podcast, but I just feel like if you hear this noise coming through the mic, that's my puffer vest just rubbing against my arms, and I'm nice and toasty in it. And it brings me joy because I'm freezing when it's 50 degrees and purely sunny outside. Okay, so let's get into what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to stop fearing weight gain. So we will get there. We're going to cover all the things. I want to give you tangible tips to walk away from, from this episode, right? Because I think there's so much on social media about weight loss, weight gain, weight, especially during January. So we're going to talk about a lot of things. But before we get there, I do like to start every episode with our Find Food Freedom win of the week. And I kind of have like a twofold this week. Now, if you've listened to our previous episode, I've talked about this a little bit, but we're so excited to share that we have started to take insurance, health insurance for one-on-one counseling. And it has been a whirlwind of the past few weeks of getting people onboarded. But we have a team of 8 registered dietitians, certified intuitive eating counselors, and these dietitians are specialized in sport performance, in eating disorder, in PCOS, in all of these different things. And so it's been so cool to see truly hundreds of people getting their benefits checked right now. But my win of the week that I want to share is from somebody who was in our membership, and she got her benefits checked as soon as she saw we were taking insurance in the new year. And then she sent me this DM. We've been going back and forth a lot in the DMs, but she sent me this one DM that I wanted to share. And she said, I literally cannot believe that I have unlimited sessions through my health insurance. This is a life-changing reality. I am mind blown. I audibly screamed in the car when I found out. I could not be any more excited. Thank you so much for the work that your team is putting in to make this possible. So I say this because on every single podcast, on every single interview, anytime anyone says, like, what's the mission of Find Food Freedom, or what is Find Food Freedom all about? Our goal is to help as many people as possible make peace with food and their body. And I believe in order to do that, accepting health insurance and taking insurance-based clients is going to make that possible. We're going to be able to reach so many more people. And I also think about myself, like taking myself out of the entrepreneur role and just as a human who is fortunate enough to have health insurance, like when I am looking for a provider, right? Like when I'm looking for a dentist, when I'm looking for a dermatologist, when I'm looking for any type of doctor, I am looking for in-network providers. And I think about how often, Find Food Freedom is a private practice. We've existed for over 8 years, but we were always private pay. And so many of our clients that would come from working with insurance-based providers in the dietetic space had very weight-centric, very weight stigmatizing experiences that made them not want to work with a dietitian. And so to think that now we can be taking insurance clients and offer weight inclusive, intuitive eating, health at every size care, basically fair, unbiased healthcare, right? That is so freaking cool. And so my win of the week is not only the message that came through that I just shared with you, but every single person that has been finding out that they have unlimited sessions, that they have 10 sessions, that they have however many sessions. Like these are free for you. Like I can't state this enough. There is no downside to getting your benefits checked because you might have unlimited. That means you can meet with a dietitian 365 days of the year, which I wouldn't recommend. Nobody needs that. But I'm saying like you can meet with a dietitian as many times as you want, unlimited, and you're not paying a dollar. That blows my fucking mind. So that is me, inviting you, if you have not done so already, get your benefits checked with our team. We have 8 dietitians, certified intuitive eating counselors who specialize in all sorts of different medical diseases and conditions that are ready to help you with whatever you're struggling with. And you can do that by clicking the link in any of our social media platforms. So if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, wherever you're at, just click the link in our bio and you will be able to get your benefits checked. Fill out a few short forms and we will get back to you with your coverage and get everything rolling from there. Now, with that being said, if you're like, I don't know if I really want to get my benefits checked yet, I don't know why anybody would say that, to be truly honest. But if you're not ready for professional support, if you're not ready to sit down one on one, I do understand that. And we like to offer a bunch of free stuff to help you. And so today, like I said, we're going to get into the podcast episode, but we have a free masterclass coming up on Thursday, January 18th called WTF is set point weight. And we're going to be talking all about weight and health, how weight correlates to intuitive eating. I hear from so many people that they're hesitant to pursue intuitive eating or a health at every size framework because they think that that means that they they're not allowed to talk about weight, and that's just not true. So we're going to talk about weight science. We're going to talk about how it all fits together. So again, this is 100% free. And if you can't make it live, we send you the recording right to your inbox. So you can go again for that to findfoodfreedomresources.com. You can sign up for the free masterclass. You can get your benefits checked. I cannot stress enough how accessible these resources are. That is my goal for 2024. I talked about in a previous episode is growth, is reaching more people, is getting fair, unbiased healthcare into the hands of so many. And these are resources that can help us do that. So I will be leading that masterclass. I will be hoping to see you there. And let's hang out virtually. Of course, we're on the pod, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on all the platforms, but I really like the master classes because I get to see your faces if you want to turn your camera on, and I really get to connect with you more intimately, if you will. Okay, so why we're here today. How to stop fearing weight gain. Anytime I put these question boxes up on Instagram, I get uh, it said in many different facets, if you will, but it all kind of is alluding to the same thing of fearing weight gain. And this makes sense, right? This makes so much sense because if we have dieted for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, we have lived our life in a way that has told us that we are better when we are smaller. Because when you think about what the goal of dieting is, it is to intentionally shrink the body under any circumstances, right? So it doesn't matter what diet it is. It could be the grapefruit diet. It could be Noom. It could be intermittent fasting. It could be Weight Watchers. It could be keto. It could be whatever. Like the tangible marker of progress is that your body is shrinking. And if it's not shrinking, well, then you're failing. And so we have been taught that a shrinking body is a successful body. A shrinking body is a good body. A shrinking body is a preferred body. And so when we come to the intuitive eating paradigm where the goal is not intentional weight loss, it feels really fucking weird because we're like, whoa, 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 hold up. For 20 years, I was searching for a smaller body, right? I was trying to shrink my body. And now you're telling me that the goal of life, the mission of life, my life's purpose is no longer shrinking my body. And to so many people, it can feel like an identity shift. It can feel like a loss of purpose. It can feel like grief in ways because it's like, well, that was my purpose. That's what I was doing. And so I think that is a huge piece of this conversation. But I also want to just like put as a huge disclaimer that if you are not focusing on intentional weight loss, like if you have started to walk an intuitive eating journey, you've started to walk a weight inclusive journey, you got rid of your scale, you're not tracking weight loss anymore, that is not giving up. That is not letting yourself go. That is not saying fuck it to your health. The amount of videos that I've seen circulating in the media of, unfortunately, it usually is like gym bros who are preaching this type of message. They're usually stitching some type of females content where they're talking about how they're trying to make peace with their body and they're trying to learn how to accept themselves. And then I'll see these like gym jabronis stitching the video and going off and saying how you're letting yourself go, you're lazy, you're blah, 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 whatever it is. And I'm here to tell you that couldn't be further from the fucking truth. It's actually, I would argue, the opposite, where if you're finally getting off the diet roller coaster, the diet hamster wheel of chasing intentional weight loss, and you're saying, I don't want to do that anymore. That has harmed me. That has not helped me. And you're choosing a different path. I think it's one of the biggest successes that you can have because I want to encourage you to think about, okay, how many years have I been on this diet roller coaster, right? How many years have you been dieting for? And has it gotten you what it's promised you? Are you in that perfect dream body? I'm using heavy air quotes for those who can't see me. Have you gotten your perfect bill of health? Have you gotten all of the love and acceptance in the world that you've been promised? And if the answer is no, then why do we continue to go on this hamster wheel over and over and over again? So, although I know how freaking scary it can be to walk away from intentional weight loss, I'm here to tell you that it's not giving up. It's not letting yourself go. It's it's actually trusting yourself again and learning how to care for yourself in a very compassionate way. And so today we're going to talk about, let's say three. Let's see if I can get to all three because I could talk for hours on this. But let's talk about three tangible ways to stop fearing weight gain. And I'm going to try to not go heavy into the weight science aspect of things because, like I already shared with you, we have our upcoming free masterclass where I'm going to be digging into the set point theory, where I'm going to be talking about weight science, where I'm going to be talking about health and weight and how they correlate. So today we are talking more from a introspective reflection lens, if you will, versus like the science-y lens, which we will get to. So again, you can go to findfoodfreedomresources.com to sign up for that free masterclass coming up. So today, step number one, if you will, I'll kind of name these out tangibly. The first thing that I want to encourage you to do if you do not want to fear gaining weight is challenge your belief systems. You were not born into this world hating your body and thinking that a bigger body is a bad body. That was taught to you along the way. That is not truth. That is a belief that was taught to you. And so the more that you can see it as a belief instead of a fact and start to challenge that belief, the more that you're going to see that you do not fear this thing that was taught to you. The fear was taught to you. So these are some questions that I highly encourage you to write down, to write in your notes on your phone. You can always revisit this part of the podcast and re-listen. But I want you to think about, what does it say about you if you gain weight? So like, what do you believe? Let's go that route. What do you believe that it says about you if you gain weight? And I want to put a disclaimer here. Because I've shared that I am pregnant with my second right now. I do want to put a little trigger warning on here for fertility, pregnancy loss. I know how, as someone who experienced infertility for many years, I know how triggering it can be when people are bringing up their pregnancies. Um, you can kind of skip past this little part right here. But I've had a lot of people reaching out, I think because I've talked about being pregnant, or maybe put a little bit more content up about pregnancy, where people are saying, I'm pregnant and I'm struggling with my body changing. Now, please know that being pregnant and gaining weight and not being pregnant are two very different things. We know why the body is gaining weight with pregnancy, right? That a baby is growing, a placenta is growing, blood volume is increasing, right? There's a lot of things going on in the human body. Versus if we're gaining weight unrelated to pregnancy, that's going to be different. There's different reasons why that happens. And bodies are meant to change. Let's remember that. But what I do want to say about weight gain, regardless, you can use this if you are also pregnant and struggling with weight gain, is, what does it say about your body? Or what do you believe it says about your body if you're gaining weight? Because at the root of it, when I think about somebody who's pregnant struggling with weight gain, they know logically why they are going to gain weight, right? Like, and I say they, me, all of us, like, if we are pregnant, we know why our body is gaining weight. But we don't think that growing a baby is bad, right? Like, we think it's a miracle. And then a lot of times I see that women feel shame because they're saying, I should be grateful. I should be happy. I should. And whenever we throw that word should in there, that usually makes us feel a lot more guilt or shame. But I'm here to tell you that it makes sense if you're still fearing weight gain, even if you're pregnant, because your beliefs about your body getting bigger are the same, regardless of if you're growing a baby or not. And so that's where I really want to encourage you to challenge your belief systems. Doesn't matter if you're pregnant or not. Doesn't matter if you're growing a human or not. I've had a lot of people that reach out to me that are going through infertility, that are going through IVF, because I've openly shared how I've gone through 3 rounds of IVF. And wow, does your body change when you're injecting it with insane amounts of hormones? And so the same thing, I've had people say, like, I'm not even pregnant. I'm going through IVF, but my body is changing and I'm scared and I don't like it. And again, you might not be in your childbearing years and you're like, my body is getting bigger, or I am gaining weight, or I'm trying to not focus on intentional weight loss and I notice my body getting bigger and I don't like it. So that is where I want to encourage you to write down, what do you believe that it says about you as a person if you gain weight? And it's really interesting how different the answers will be for all of us, but also how similar, because we have been fed a narrative our entire lives about larger bodies. And so that goes into the next 2 questions here. Again, I really highly encourage you to write down, what do you believe about your body getting larger? And then this is like a 2-part question, but it can be very different. For some people, it's very similar. For some people, it's very different. So, what do you believe about your body getting larger, or about larger bodies in general? So I find that some people fear their own body getting bigger, whereas others are very hyper aware of other bodies that are in the room and have a lot of beliefs about other people that are in larger bodies. So, again, back to that question, what do you believe about your body getting larger or larger bodies in general? And then, in that same kind of arena, if you will, what do you believe about your own body getting smaller or about smaller bodies in general? So, if you walk into a room full of people and everybody's body is smaller than you. One, are you recognizing that? Two, what do you think about these people? What story are you telling yourself about them? What do you think they deserve versus you? Like digging into these beliefs are going to help you see so deeply why you are fearing weight gain. And then the last question in this challenging your belief system kind of point that I want to start with is, what are your most important characteristics about yourself that you love? And I want to separate that from the physical body. So, for example, if I went to your best friend or someone that you're very close with and said, what do you love about X? You, right? Like whatever your name is. What do you love about Sarah? What do you love about Emily? What do you love about Sam? Like, what do you love about them? And they said their energy. They light up a room when they walk into it, their humor, their trusting, whatever those things are. Those are things that we need to start to center as important about us because our physical body is the least important thing about us. But when we are fearing weight gain and when we think that weight gain is the absolute worst possible thing that could ever happen to us, that tells me that we think that our body, our physical body, is one of the most important things about us. It takes it away from the mental, takes it away from the emotional, and it puts a lot, if not all, of the emphasis on the physical. Now, please know, I'm not here to say you're not allowed to want to better your physical health. And I think that's where there's a lot of misconceptions. And that's where this is a perfect tie in to our masterclass coming up. Like, what the fuck is set point weight? And talking about how weight and weight science and all of these things intertwine. Because I think this is where people get very confused, where they think that if you are walking an intuitive eating journey, that you are saying, fuck it to your health. And that couldn't be further from the truth because there are so many things related to health that we can work on and ways that we can impact our health uncoupled from intentionally changing the size of our body. So, woo, I feel like we all need a deep breath after that was just point number one that had a lot of points under it of a lot of great reflection questions. So I really want to encourage you, go back to those questions, write them down, find a safe, quiet spot, grab your favorite beverage, your favorite mug, cuddle up in a cozy little position, get all under a warm blankie and just like let yourself brain dump answers to these questions. Do not judge yourself, do not shame yourself, and see what comes up for you. That is one of the best ways that you can start to stop fearing weight gain is challenging your belief systems. Number two and three are going to be a little bit more take it away from the mental space and like physical things that you can do to stop the body checking. If you notice that you are walking past a mirror, you are walking past a store window, you are in your house and you are going back and forth to your mirror. And when you do that, you are checking the size of your body. You are seeing how your pants fit. You're sucking in, you're crouching down. You're negatively in your head like, "Ew, I'm so disgusting. Why do I suck? Why is my body like this?" If you have that negative dialogue and you recognize that you are body checking multiple times a day, I'm here to challenge you to stop doing that. That is not helping in any way, shape, or form. So I want to encourage you to give yourself grace if you notice that you're doing that. If you're doing it, we're not going to guilt or shame ourselves for doing it, right? Because then that's a spiral. But we're going to notice and say, I'm body checking. This is not helping me, and move on. Stop looking in the store windows. If you have certain mirrors in your house that really trigger you, maybe we turn them around for a little bit of time until we notice we are calmed down. Maybe we cover the mirror, whatever we need to do to stop body checking. The more obsessed we are with it, the more we're going to trigger negative self-talk, and it's going to go into a spiral. So physically removing some of the barriers that can stop us from doing that can be very, very helpful. Point number 3. So we said challenge belief systems, number 1, stop body checking, number 2. Point number 3 here is getting clothes that fit comfortably. Now, please know comfort and style, some would argue, are equally as important. I'm in the phase of life where comfort is king. Like that is all I give a shit about. But I know that some people love to express themselves through clothing, and that style is really important too. So I want you to get clothes that comfortably fit your body. This does not mean that you need to rehash your entire wardrobe and go get a million different pieces that fit. I want to encourage you, if possible, to get a few staples that really fit your body comfortably. I want you to make your closet or your dresser or wherever you store your clothes a safe space for the time being, where you can remove the clothes that do not fit right now and put them in bags. You do not have to get rid of them. You do not have to donate them. You do not have to sell them. If you want to, great. Or you just remove them from the environment. So maybe we're putting the clothes under the bed, in the attic, you could even keep it in your closet, but I want it in a garbage bag. I don't want you to see the clothes. Try to hide them. Could be the trunk of your car. I don't care where you put them. So when you do this, you are creating an environment that is safe, that when you walk into it or when you open the drawer, you know that what is there fits your body comfortably. I want you to think about it. If you went to a party and you wore a shoe that was 2 sizes smaller, let's say you're wearing heels. Mama don't wear heels no more. Maybe to a wedding. That is like the only place I will wear them. But if you're wearing heels and they're 2 sizes too small and you're trying to go out and have fun, what are you thinking about all night? You're thinking about how your shoes are freaking killing your feet. You're thinking about how your feet hurt. You're not thinking about anything else. And that is exactly what happens when we put clothes on our body that are too small. Let's say we put a pair of jeans on that are 1 or 2 sizes too small, and we try to sit and we're trying to be at dinner with our girlfriends and we're trying to enjoy the moment. But what happens? We're like, "Oh, I can't breathe. Oh my God, it's digging into my stomach." And then we start to spiral. I'm so fat. I'm so disgusting. This is terrible, et cetera, et cetera. I want you to find clothes that fit your body comfortably, especially just for the time being as you are learning to stop fearing the body changing. Because if we can lessen the pain and discomfort, we will not be triggered as often. And so the way to do this, if you're kind of assessing the clothes you already have, try them on with your back to the mirror. Do not look in the mirror until you have absolutely can confidently say that, okay, this piece of clothes fits my body comfortably. Then, and only then, do you turn around, you look in the mirror and say, now, does it pass my style test, right? Like, do I enjoy this item of clothing? And then it can stay in the closet, because just because something's comfortable doesn't mean that you have to wear it. Maybe you don't enjoy it anymore. Maybe it's like from 5 years ago and you're like, I would never wear this ever again. Okay. So again, 3 tangible tips we're walking away with. 1, challenge your belief systems. 2, stop the body checking. Try your best to give yourself grace. If you catch yourself doing it, say, we're not doing this anymore. Move on. Try to lessen the amount of triggers, lessen the amount of mirrors that we are looking in during this time being. And 3, get clothes that fit your body comfortably. Allow yourself to find clothes that fit your body, not shapeshift your body to fit some arbitrary number that is tacked onto our clothing. Oh, I feel like we need a nice long breath after this. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Ooh, okay. If you have listened to today's episode and you're like, wow, I did not know how much I needed this information. First of all, super grateful that you're here. I would also be extremely grateful if you could send this episode to a friend. If you could go to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, or subscribe. It takes like 3 seconds. And that will help this podcast get into the ears of more listeners that need to hear it. So I would be very, very grateful for that. And then if you're someone who's like, I need more help, I need more resources. One, remember that a great follow up to this conversation is going to be our live masterclass on January 18th called WTF is Set Point Weight, where we're getting all into weight science, weight, health, all of that good stuff. So you can go to findfoodfreedomresources.com to sign up for that. It is 100% free. If you can't make it live, we send you the recording. Two, if you're at a point where you're like, I want professional help, I want to meet one on one with a dietitian, please get your benefits checked. Please, 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 for the love of whatever you believe in, get your benefits checked because we have had so many people have unlimited sessions with a dietitian, with a certified intuitive eating counselor on our team for this year. There is no negative to getting them checked. The worst that would happen is you do not have coverage, and we will let you know that, and we will talk about other options for support if you feel like you really, really need support. So again, you can do that at findfoodfreedomresources.com. I'm so grateful for you being here. And if you're listening and you're like, "Ooh, I really want a podcast episode on blank," shoot me a DM, let me know. I always love to hear what you want to see more of. And get excited. In February, we have our dating and marriage series coming up where we're talking all about dating and marriage and diet culture and related to intuitive eating. And I'm really freaking excited for that. So thanks for being here, and I will see you next week.